and I would love to empower other young people like me to make projects using AI to make their life easier. So I made this AI project using PictoBlocks, and I named it a medical AI. It tells you, when you tell it your symptoms, it tells you what you're sick of. I personally programmed it only for diseases like COVID-19, diabetes, and malaria. So I would like to show you how it works. So this is how it is. When you click the green flag, it greets you, asks you for your symptoms, and let me show you guys. Okay. So it greets you and asks you for your symptoms, and it's like, how are you feeling today? Please tell me your symptoms. And if you tell it like fever, and it will tell you are infected with COVID-19 and tell you how to prevent it from spreading. Let me show you another disease, like diabetes. Let's say malaria. And then it will tell you you're infected with malaria. I would like to show you the code I used for this. Let me see. So, this diabetes too. Let's put So I've put my wounds do not heal quickly, and it has said that I'm infected with diabetes. I should control my sugar levels, and I should exercise more and eat healthy. But I'm still programming it, like I want it to be able to, I want to add more diseases, and I also, when it's done telling you your symptoms, I want it to be able to tell you to go to a nearby health center for more medical treatments, but still working on it. And for now, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Tusiime. I would like to pose a very simple question. What inspired you to build this platform?
Well, what inspired me to build this was AI is so amazing. It makes life easy. So I was just then, I was like, can't I use AI to tell me when I'm sick instead of wasting fuel to go to the hospital? And besides, if I'm feeling bad, it takes time to get there. So not to waste time and money, that's why I developed this AI.
All right, a big round of applause for such inspirational conversations. Thank you very much, Emily. So the next session is going to be the AI, the teens panel. We're going to invite the moderator for the teens panel, who will invite the speakers for that panel. It's a teens panel, so you expect young faces to this. And the moderator is none other than Hannah Kalinda. Hannah Kalinda is, let me get the bio here. So Hannah Kalinda is a student at Defoldis Primary School. She's a robotics world championship representative of Uganda for this year, actually, 2025. Let's please clap for her. She has already reached.
Hi, my name is Kaylin Kalinda. I'm 9 years old. I go to Daffodils Primary School. Today our topic is AI for good. How can African youth use AI to solve real problems? I would like to invite our panelists to introduce themselves.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Yes, that's the energy. My name is Paul Nkolo. I'm 18 years old and I study at Kampala Diplomatic International School. I'm very interested in supersonic flying and aviation, so planes that go really fast, basically. And yes, today we're here to talk about AI for good. Thank you.
Hello. Perfect. Good morning, everyone. My name is Norbert Lubangakene, A-level students from Kampala Diplomatic International School. We are here to discuss about AI for good and how can it impact on the good life of African teenagers. So I'm really glad to be here. Thank you.
My name is Nathan Ishanga, and I'm here to talk about how AI can help Africans.
Hello, I'm by the name Otim Emmanuel, and we are all here to talk about AI for good and how much of it we could integrate into African youth and how it could solve other big problems. Thank you.
Thank you. First question, what problems in your daily life or community do you wish AI could help you solve right now?
Yes, so one problem that we frequently have at home is when my sibling gets sick, it's almost inevitable that everyone in the house will get sick. And that's a problem that keeps happening again and again. And I keep thinking, why can't we learn from this? Why can't we stop the spread of disease, not only within our homes, but within the community as a whole? We've had many diseases that have happened throughout the years, and I believe if we give this information to AI, I would love it to help minimize the spread of these diseases.
To me, I think in the African community, one of the biggest challenge concerning healthcare is medical diagnostics. I know a lot of people in the crowd there that have experienced this problem of you fall sick, but then the sickness is not that intense, like you have some fever and then maybe some little bit of headache. And then in the village, my grandma would always say, just take the Panadol and swallow, you'll be okay. So from that, there are a lot of young Africans dying from wrong medical diagnostics. Like you just feel headache and then you take Panadol. You don't know what disease you are suffering from. Maybe it's a early side of COVID-19, for example, but now you're taking Panadol and you think you'll be okay. Or maybe you go and buy Quatam, you swallow. And then after 2 weeks, the medical condition, the illness that you have might increase higher. So I think we could use AI in medical health to better the process of medical diagnosis. In a case whereby if someone falls sick, we could use AI to determine better how much of what they're suffering from and what they're suffering from. In a scenario whereby someone falls sick, we could develop an AI tool, maybe an application or physical component that we could restore at home, people buy and use. Maybe you take a blood test. I'm pretty sure everyone here, with the help of your parents, you can take a blood test. Maybe we put in that tool and then the AI will be able to tell us what disease that person is suffering from. And that would help very much to reduce the high risk of death in the African population. Thank you.
I wish AI could help us with an weather app like climate change, because we are not sure if we're in the rainy season or the dry season. So like farmers could get ready.
Thank you. From my point of view, we can use AI in the food supply chain. If we can model a chatbot or an AI tool that can be used to calculate, like let's say in a smart family, it can be used to calculate the amount of food needed so that we can be able to utilize our resources and also minimize wastage, because waste is causing a lot of chaos, air pollution in our environment. So the AI tools will evaluate us which amount of food could this family be having today, and with that way the waste product will be reduced. And I want to elaborate about the climate change. Yes, AI predictive analysis can be used to detect severe weather conditions, when will the rain fall, and when is the drought system. As you know, most Africans, we are mostly at the youth age, according to the age bracket, around 25 to 45 years of most African population are the youth. So if we could be able to develop an AI tool, AI chatbot that can predict the weather, so that will help in the agricultural sector, that will impact on the health, it will impact on the economy of our continent, as I think. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we may have second question. Have you or your friends used any AI tools or apps to address an issue at home, school, or in your neighborhood? Share your story.
Yes, so I'm sure we all have hobbies here, things we like to do in our free time. So me personally, I quite like the game of chess. And I was talking with my cousin one day and we said, we should learn how to not only play chess, but how can we create it? But to learn how to create chess, you need to learn to code, and it will take a very long time. And so we used AI. We got into an AI and said, okay, how do you code chess? And it gave us everything that we needed to code our own game of chess. And yes, we used some help from some engines online. But not only did we actually code a fully fleshed game, but we learned how to code it. The AI explained each part. This part is because of this part is because of that. And that's something I'm very proud of. Thank you.
For me, it was a very funny encounter whereby I went back home after school. It was in Kitgum district. You know, it's a very small town. So there was a lady in the neighborhood who sells food at a local restaurant. So, you know, most of these road construction companies, there are Chinese firms that come here to build for us the road. So there was a certain Chinese guy who wanted to buy a local dish called malakwang. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. It's a very delicious one. So the Chinese guy comes to the restaurant. He wants to buy food, but he doesn't speak English. And the lady speaks only Acholi. And then I was coming across to go to the restaurant to also buy something small. So the lady saw the Chinese guy is trying to speak Chinese, I don't know, some little English. The lady got confused and she decided to like run away, close the restaurant and run away until the Chinese guy goes away. Then she comes back because she was scared. So I had an opportunity to talk to the guy, though the English was a little bit Englishing, not properly. So we talked to him and he said malakwang. So I was like, okay, and this is a food place. So I talked to the lady in the local language. He needs malakwang, but the amount he wanted, I didn't know properly because the numbers are a little bit difficult. So I had to use Google Translate to translate the Chinese language into English to know how much of the quantity of food he needed and in what content he would want it to be put in. So I think Google Translate helped me a lot there with the lady as well. So because it not only helped her to get the money, but also get the confidence that next time when a foreigner comes, you should not run away because we have AI tools that could help you to ease your life in your community. Thank you.
When I traveled to China, like the Chinese food is not the same here. And so like I wanted to order food and the man didn't know how to speak English. So I used Google Translator and it worked. And
Thank you. I would like to say some advice. If we are speaking, let's try to be short and brief because we have a little time. As I respond to the second question about the use of AI in the real world, like how have we already used, or some of our friends who have used AI already in the real world, I could say, for now, you know, we're in Uganda, we still don't have enough resources to engage in all these activities, but as per my view, we at robotics teams, and with my point of view, I can see like if we could develop some sensors and we put in these robotic teams, and we develop them to be like used in the real world. So there's a robotic we built last time for irrigation. We know Africa always affected by drought and most of the countries. So if we could inbuild the AI tools in those robotics so that can just sense when they're in the garden, then you can even get the chat, the app in your phone. Will be in office, you'll be somewhere else, even out of the country. Then you just check on from your phone, then you'll be like, I need water in my garden, there's low moisture content, and there's this and this. So you can just control from somewhere. Then this will actually impact on the economy of our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. What are the biggest challenges African teenagers face when trying to use AI to fix problems they care about, and how can we overcome them?
So, for example, after this talk here, we're all going to go home and say, okay, AI, how has this talk impacted me? How can I use AI? But there are a lot of people, especially in rural areas or in schools outside of Kampala, that don't have access to AI for one reason or another. Either they don't have the infrastructure, or sometimes they simply don't know about it. They're not sensitized about it. And so one way I thought of combating this problem was, there are some phones that have browsers automatically downloaded on them, and you can't delete them. And I really think AI should be one of these apps that should be automatically installed on phones and computers across the country. Thank you.
As a topic concerning the African community, according to me, I think accessibility is one of the main things as it talked about, but large parts of the population also doesn't have access to either the gadgets or stable and reliable internet. So if we could urge the government and some other non-government organizations to provide at least the gadgets or maybe stable internet and reliable ones, because there is internet in Uganda, but in some areas not that reliable, because searching on Google could take you 2 minutes. And if I'm to search about something on ChatGPT, for example, and it's taking me more than 45 seconds, there is a higher chance that next time I'll not go back there again. So accessing the devices and then reliable internet, and then sensitizing people on how to use it and the advantages of using it. Those are the points. Thank you.
Like, she said ChatGPT has the version where I have to pay for, so, and it gives more information, and like the person that doesn't pay for it has less information, and then we as teenagers might not have the money to pay for it.
Okay, about the challenges facing African teenagers in the use of AI, I think they all talk about all the good points, can talk of limited access to quality education, financial aids, and the sensitization is talked about earlier. So I'll just talk about some of the some of the solutions to this problem. As I see about the financial aid he made mention earlier, if government could come in place, like we can talk about the government policy. You know, with AI, we mostly use gadgets and devices for doing all these things. So if government can regulate the tax on the gadgets and devices access into the country, then that will greatly impact on the AI use and access by African teenagers. And also, if we could have organizations and some individuals to invest in the AI, then that will really help our people to get into the AI world and make the world a better world. I can give example. There's a renewable energy project we're working on. We are trying to put in place data center in the various regions across the country. And with that, I think it can really help the people to access the use of internet and the devices to enter into the AI world. And my request, if that could be elaborated more by the government and some individuals and organizations, then people will get to the world of AI and it will really impact on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. Can you give us inspiring examples of young Africans making real challenges with AI?
Yes, there's this Ugandan actually called Joshua Nkolo. So what he did is he created an AI chatbot that basically helps teenagers with mental health illnesses. So if you have depression, anxiety, you can go talk to this bot and it will give you recommended steps forward. And I thought that was a very inspiring example by a fellow Ugandan.
I did a research recently on a guy called Benjamin Rossman from South Africa at the University of Witwatersrand University. So for me, I'm interested in robotics, and being someone who is talking about AI right now, it'd be very exciting to introduce AI in robotics for me as a person. So this guy, Benjamin Rossman, he's a researcher at the University of Witwatersrand, and he has been carrying out researches on how to ensure AI is used better in robotics for the African community. So for agriculture, for example, he has built a machine learning program for the university students at Witwatersrand University, whereby he teaches the robotic systems on how to carry out certain activities in different environments. So he uses the reinforcement learning as a machine learning technique for his robots. So his robots are able to carry out activities without being told, do this, do this. You just make sure the robot studies the environment and what's happening in the environment. Then it makes its own conclusion and gives advice on where to improve or what to do next. He also did a reverse reinforcement learning, whereby the robots, now this time is the advancement of the reinforcement learning, because this time you just let the robot do its things, and then with your guidance, you correct only the areas that it's doing wrong through the trial and error method. So I think for our school, Kampala Diplomatic, we are currently having a robotic team that will represent Uganda in the Pan-African robotics. So we could borrow such ideas into the robotics world with AI, then it will be easier to carry out certain activities without the instruction and inspections by us. Thank you.
There's a young man called Efio Bada, a Nigerian entrepreneur and founder of Tingo, a fintech company using AI to provide financial services to underserved communities.
I have a person in place. You know, when you are in the world of development, you have to start right from home. And there's this guy called Asanka Helal. He's a tech innovator who focuses on the intersection of AI and renewable energy. So what he does, he developed an AI tool that could regulate the energy used in a smart home and give all the informations, and it helps in the sustainability of energy use at our home. Then if we could get in on and support some of these ideas, then we try to expand it to all our households, like mostly in the urban cities where we normally have power cut, though we have a high peak of electricity in the country, but management is the problem. So if we could come with those ideas, put in hands and invest in it so that we can try to minimize power outcut always in the country. And you know, if there's power outcut, development will actually grow low. There will be a decline in the GPT, and we will lose life in the hospital. So if we could manage the electricity we have, and with all the resources we have in place, that's the management is the problem. So that AI tool can really impact, and it will really develop the country. Thanks.
Thank you. If you had unlimited resources, what AI-powered idea or invention would you create to transform your community?
So as I mentioned in my introduction, I'm very interested in supersonic flying, where if you're flying from here to London, you can say, oh, it will take 8 hours. You should get there in about 3 hours. And what I would do is I would use AI to analyze how other startup airlines and other aircraft have been introduced into other countries to best get them to where they need to be to properly support their economy. And so I would use AI to figure out how to implement supersonic aviation, not just globally, but mainly in Uganda.
As someone interested in robotics and knowing that our background as Ugandans, our economy is resting on agriculture right now, I think even almost 60% of the African population, we are on farming right now, which is agriculture. So to me, I think, in my opinion, the way I want it to be, if I have unlimited resources, is to develop an agricultural rover, which is a robotics rover that could use AI and other tools and sensors that will be mounted onto it. We have one at school right now. We named it FarmFlow. So I would like it to have an AI-powered tool that would help us to predict future weather events. For example, if drought is coming, but we don't know, we can't know that next month there won't be rainfall. So the device could be a movable device that it's portable, and you placed it in your area, and it could tell you that maybe next month we expect this much rainfall. So a farmer would base his own activities or his own plans. For example, if he wanted to carry out farming, like planting the seeds in Feb, but then this device is telling you by May there will be drought, and then you'll have to switch the type of seeds that you wanted to plant, which crop you wanted to plant. Maybe you plant vegetables that would be ready within 2 weeks or 3-4 weeks there. So if you plant those twice, at least we'll have reduced the cost and the loss that we'll have experienced that by planting maybe maize that would take 3 months, then by May, the drought would come and clear all of them down. So I think that device would be a very useful one in the African community. Thank you.
Yeah, I would make a localized AI-powered weather prediction app, which would help farmers prepare for upcoming rains or droughts. This would help farmers to adjust planting schedules and irrigations and harvesting based on more accurate, personalized forecasting plans.
Thank you once again. With enough resources, we can develop in the AI chatbot that could I have problem with my microphone, sorry. We could develop health chatbot. So I want to thank one of our dear friends, the little girl who just talked about the AI tool, the app that's developed for detecting COVID-19. My dear friend, thank you very much. If we could impact on such ideas, such a brilliant talent we have here in Uganda, so we could invest in more developing AI chatbots that could help detect health problems and also help in the diagnosis. As we know, in China, there's agent hospital that use AI-based technology in diagnosing all the sicknesses and giving medication to the patients. So with that, even if we don't have enough doctors in the hospital, the AI-powered tools can help solve the problems of disease and curing and prevention. And I can also talk about and elevate. With AI, you can develop a chatbot that will help students in learning. You can personally learn alone from wherever you are, so long as you have the devices and good internet. You could be able to learn. There are some mind-blowing games that have already been developed in place. Those are AI-based. So with that, it can improve on the intelligence level of our students, and it can really impact on the education system. So that's all I have.
Thank you, panelists, for giving us what you think on the questions. Thank you, audience, for listening. Have a good day.
Thank you.
I think our panel deserves another round of applause. As we get into our next session, I'd like to welcome the next panelists and our moderator, Mr. Davis Twine.
All right, it's afternoon already. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm called Davis Twine, and all right, so we shall be discussing the topic of AI as a superpower for learning. how teens can use AI to unlock their full potential. So on the panel today, I have Mr. Arinaitwe Rugyendo, who is a journalist and the founder of Young Engineers Education Program and a member of the Presidential Task Force on the Fourth Industrial Revolution and Emerging Technologies. Please, you can have a seat here. And also I have Mr. Katende, Nesta Paul, and Mr. Moses Tuhame. All right, thank you. So I'll start maybe with talking generally about AI, and also, as we've said, as a country trying to build this capacity as a nation. So maybe I'll ask our panelists here maybe to tell us, for the teenagers curious about careers in AI or technology, how can they start building these skills today in and outside the classroom? I'll start with Mr. Moses.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Maybe for the young ones, they need to know what they want. And this arises out of exposure. They need to be exposed on a number of situations out of which they can develop ideas. Now, the panelists who have just left, and the lady Mwezi who was here before, their stories are linked to what motivated them to do what they are doing. So we need to ensure that that exposure happens, and if possible, it should be guided. Some of them might get lost out there in AI and fail to come up with ideas that focus on specific problems, because the issue is to solve problems, not to have the technology per se. Yeah, that's what I can say on that.
Thank you, Mr. Moses. Katende, what's your take on this?
Okay. Thank you so much. I think, like my elder shared here, is that exposure is very important, especially for young people. It's important that we introduce this curricula or technologies at a very young stage when they're still in secondary or primary. One of the reasons as to why I think that there's a low adoption of AI, especially in Africa or in Uganda, is because of the low levels of exposure. Many people do not know what this technology is, or people assume they understand AI, but they don't understand what AI is, especially when it comes to the Ugandan context, the Ugandan story, the Ugandan narrative. And so I will not differ a lot from what my elder shared here. Exposure is extremely, extremely important. Someone has to pay the price to take AI education or AI awareness across the country to the young people as fast as possible.
Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Arinaitwe.
Thank you very much. I'm also happy to be here. I work with children. I'm a journalist, but I work with children at the Young Engineers STEM education program in schools, and we've experienced this firsthand with children. All I would say is I think we need to begin from the attitude at the top level, at the policy level. What is the policy in Uganda about the future of work, about the future of education? And I think this is where the problem is. And for children or teenagers to begin to adopt these technologies, it has to begin with the policy. The policy currently, I think, is that we are trying to look at the competence-based curriculum, for example, which focuses on enabling children enhance their critical thinking skills, their curiosity, arouse their curiosity, for example, but also their innovative skills, their problem-solving skills. And so therefore, what I would say is that we ought to begin with the curriculum. I'm here, Moses, my friend, is here. How is the curriculum tailored towards crafting new ways of learning, new ways of teaching? And I think this is where it begins, because children and teenagers will always follow, because they always want to associate with something that excites them. If the policy is that we are doing away with rote learning and going to children or teenager-centered learning, and these are the tools, and this is the curriculum, then I think the continent, the country, will tag along and will be able to be, to follow, to move with the rest of the world. I was a member, like you introduced me, of the presidential task force that started work in 2019. The task force was about writing a fourth industrial revolution report for the country and where the country is supposed to go. We did that report, and I think we handed it over in 2020 to 2022 to the government. I don't know, and some of these questions were answered there, and I said the problem now, the challenge is the policy. Who is implementing this report? I'm sure, of course, maybe STI probably has a copy of this, and maybe they are following up a few things here and there. But like I've said, have the policy right, have the curriculum adopt to the future of work, to the future needs of children, of teenagers, or future generation, and the children will tag along and will have the best of it and be able to balance with the rest of the world.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arinaitwe. You spoke about something exciting, which is tools, and you see we have such a young audience here. Maybe I just wanted to ask you, gentlemen, as educators, as people in your field, we have someone from the Curriculum Center, a journalist. Maybe can you share some exciting AI tools you would recommend to the teens here, to make their learning more easy, fun, and engaging as we embark on this journey? I'll start here with Mr. Moses.
Yeah, thank you so much. There are quite a number of tools. Someone was mentioning ChatGPT. There are a number of Google tools, many of them. But of course, the issue is they need to be guided. There are quite many. As educators, we possibly need to guide and select them and vet some of them so that we put up stations or sites or spaces where they can go and follow them up. We've seen tools that can help in career guidance. We have this challenge of students. I believe that A-level students here, you find a person is doing a combination like history, economics, geography. You ask them what they want to become. Someone tells you, I want to become an engineer. So the issue is what will take you there, you don't know even the subject. So if we have tools that can guide them about the careers they can do, well and good. Then we also have tools that can help them identify their personalities. We have a challenge. You're in school, you're doing whatever you're doing, but you don't know who you are. So those tools are there, and they have worked, and people are using them. So it's quite a lot, but they need to be guided.
All right, Mr. Katende, some of the exciting tools that you recommend to our young generation here?
Thank you so much for that question. I think I'll start this way before I talk about the tools. Tools are many. One time we were doing a training in some university X, and some people there had a problem with exposing these tools to young people, saying that these tools are going to make them dumb, they're going to make them dense, which I think is a very wrong conversation and narrative to believe. I think these tools should be used. I think they simply make the student better. They simply make the student to be more innovative, more creative. So it depends on which kind of tool you are going to expose your child to. I think the bias of parents, obviously there is a bias, algorithmic bias, and of course there should be that parental guidance as well, but I think it's important that we expose these tools to these young people to know how to navigate them. Quite a number of them. I mean, if you're talking of, the AI tools we have, for example, Perplexity, which helps you in terms of research work. The paid version of ChatGPT has quite a number of, tools in there for data analytics, DALE, designing of flyers and what have you. So the paid version of ChatGPT has kind of like a whole ecosystem of that. Quilybots is also a wonderful one. There's also one they call Photomath. Photomath helps in mathematics. Those of us that are doing, who have children who are doing homework. But also ChatGPT is really, really good because even if you have the free one, it has the voice command one. I have a little sister at home, and so sometimes when we are doing her math work, we put on that voice ChatGPT, and then she actually begins conversing with this ChatGPT. So she asks the ChatGPT, what is this? And then the ChatGPT replies in real time. I think it is important that these young brains are exposed to this as opposed to, being very averse in terms of what these algorithms can do. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Katende. Maybe for Mr. Arinaitwe, so the members here have talked about the tools, and Mr. Katende said that some of the AI tools shouldn't be looked at in a bad way. He has said that some university X, they said they will make the students dull, they will make, not productive. So what are some of those common myths, and misunderstandings teens have, or even us, I don't know if I'm an adult or a teen, but what are some of those myths or misunderstandings that are there about AI?
Yeah, thank you very much. There are quite many, and I agree with Katende and my colleagues here. I think the general myth is about, like he said, making teens or anyone who uses them tense, but the general myth is about AI eventually replacing the human element in problem solving, and then we become slaves of machines, slaves of these solutions. And for me, I think I want to disagree with that. It's a myth. The reality is that we are living in an environment of automation, and the future won't be without these tools, these solutions. I would want to say in a rudimentary way that I think internet, and of course that comes with AI, is the oxygen of the future. We just cannot say that we sit there and don't live without it. And I disagree with the parents who want to allow their children to explore. And for me, so that's the reality. So the myth is that, but the fact is that human skills, human elements, always will supersede machines. And it is what you instruct AI to do, to solve for you, that comes out. So what you ask, what you command it, it is what it will give you, what it will solve for you, in my view. And so if we mix it with a little bit of the other question where you are talking about what tools, I think for you children and the rest of the teens out there, the point is that I think that these are very good, these are opportunities for all of us, which for some of us in our generation we didn't have, but now you have them. You have an opportunity to command machines to sort of tailor solutions to your career, that this is what I want. If you set out, say, I want to be a doctor, then look for tools, search for those tools that resonate, that align with what you want to be. And therefore, you'll find the solutions. And there's so many out there. Every other day, AI tools are being developed. Even here in Uganda, people are developing AI tools. I think this young man, Kitaka, who has done something about language processing for Uganda, a sort of ChatGPT version that comes out and gives solutions in Uganda. And there's so much discovery there. And so the children of today, the teens of today have very curious minds, and that's very important. And so therefore, AI is there for you to help you exact your ideas, the sort of dreams you have, the sort of solutions you want for the environment that you live in, the problems that you face, the challenges that we face as a world. You have a chance. So use it very well. And I think in this case, also we parents, I'm a parent, it's important that we work together with the children. You just don't have to leave it to them to say that they find solution. They might find solution. There is bad AI, there's also good AI. So if use good AI to solve bad AI and also identify what bad AI is. And that way you will be able to, you have an assistant. I think that's the point. I'm not technical in that area, but it's what they call assistant. You have this virtual career guidance, especially in AI. You may don't have to run to Moses at his place at NCDC, but you have the help here and command good things, it will give you good things.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arinaitwe. Maybe from our discussion now so far, we have seen that, AI is good, or to some extent, and to a very big extent, we all agree, and we say that, let's use it to our advantage and also to drive this sector forward. So maybe as a parting shot, as we close out this session, is what advice would you give to the teens to stay safe, and responsible, ethically? Mostly, we want to tailor this maybe to when it comes to, doing some projects and maybe homework, because I've participated in very many, how can I call them? Okay, they're like, grant proposal kind of things. Someone develops a certain concept, but you can see the human touch is missing. Like mostly it is, it doesn't communicate very, very well. So generally, in a nutshell, as we close out this, what are those some of the advice you would give to the teens to stay safe, responsible, and maybe also ethically while using these AI tools, specifically would set to school projects and maybe schoolwork? Maybe let me go first with Mr. Katende, then Moses, and then Arinaitwe.
Thank you so much. Just to speak to our young people here, because I'm also young. Number one, your background does not matter as of to whether you're going to do, it has a very good space when you're in secondary school and you're going to do computer science, computer engineering, beautiful, okay? But even if you do history and literature, you still have an opportunity, a space in this conversation, right? Because one of the things we're doing as Otic Foundation is that we're trying to democratize artificial intelligence across our whole nation, working with the Ministry of ICT, doing this across 6 universities and all the national ICT innovation hubs across the country. One thing is they're saying is that AI is for everyone, regardless of your background, because it's an industry evolution. It's a bedrock technology defining cash flow systems and structures and curricula in this time. So that's number one. Number two, because it's for everyone regardless of your background, it means that you have an opportunity to innovate, to tap into your inner self, right? You are unique in your own way. You have your own print and distinction to create the future you want to create. Artificial intelligence is simply a tool, like any other tool that you can use to innovate. So look into yourself. Don't feel biased that because I'm not performing very well in mathematics, therefore I don't think I can understand these AI things. They're very difficult. No. Do you know what? We're into AI, my personal testimony. We're into AI, building algorithms, research proposals with different organizations across nationally and internationally. But my first undergraduate degree was community psychology from Makerere University. Community psychology. That means I didn't have any background. But that did not stop me from building a brand, from accepting a responsibility to democratize AI across the country, and that's far where Otic has gone. Believe in yourself. Do not let any man intimidate you because of your youth or because you are young. You can innovate, you can be a distinct person wherever you are, and the future is yours. The sky is no limit. There's no limit for you, okay? So believe in yourself, regardless of your background, tap into that inner voice in you, and you're gonna shake the world. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. If I go to ChatGPT and ask it, if I want to commit suicide, how fast can I do that? Will it give answers or not? It will give answers. and in a short time I can commit suicide. What am I saying? Use AI for good things. Use AI for good reasons. Now, for us in technology, we can get to, let's say, the local area network or wherever. We cut out the sites we don't want these people to access. But we shall not do that 100%. Now, it is up to you as a person to use it for good reasons. Then secondly, we search for a lot of things and then we present them as ours. It would be a good idea that if you've got support from a tool, please say so. Tell me that I was assisted by this to do ABC. Because what is important is to come up with solutions. Then I would guide that you always share with your colleagues where you get challenges. Because when we use these gadgets, that's research we need to do. For how long should we be in front of a gadget in 24 hours? So let's share our challenges. Let's not bully others who are on our networks. Then we shall be getting the best out of it. On the side of the National Curriculum Development Center, across levels we develop curriculum for, from early childhood up to A level. We've put guidance to guide all learners on how to use ICT, and we have included the components of ethical use of ICTs. Please, we put the guidelines, but again, it starts with us. Let's be Christian, let's be religious to do good things with the AI. Otherwise, it might go outside our control and it will be a big problem to all of us. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. For me, I would want to say this. One, let's picture a scenario 20 years from now. Everybody is AI-oriented. Who will be in a unique position? It is the person who will have the human touch to AI that will be the uniquest person or the uniquest element within that whole quagmire. So for me, I would want to refer to the Bible. In the Bible, we read that God said, man, created man to have dominion over everything. The point was that the human touch supersedes everything. So if you have the human touch, all these things, you stand out. That's the point. And so your question was actually about even how to ethically, bring in the schoolwork and all this. I have seen my own children when they come home with their homework and they say, "Daddy, give me a phone. I want to." And I'm very uncomfortable with it. But that's research. That's their world. But the point is, for me, is once the child has picked it and has found the answer, I make the extra mile to say, yes, interpret it for me using your own understanding, not the phone's understanding. So the point is that along the way, yes, these gadgets are with us. We are not going to do anything about it. But the point for you teaching teenagers is that always emphasize the human touch, the human element. The machine should not be the total solution. The machine is the enabler to your own thinking. That is why when you are commanding it, it starts with your brain. It doesn't start with the phone. So at the end of the day is that we want to see a product of that works with machines, that knows how to work with AI, not how AI wants to work with the human beings. And so you children, let me tell you that you need to stand out at the end of the day. Stand out of the crowd. If you know you are able to combine the human touch with AI skills, you'll be the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my panel. That's it from us. I hope we have gotten something to take home. Yeah, can give our panelists a round of applause.